need to adjust your systems, ladies and gentlemen. It's just our neighborhood Monday night gremlins on the loose. Got to love them. You know, if there's one thing I can say about these gremlins, at least they're consistent. Okay, greetings, and salutations to one and all. We're gonna try to do this all over again. How you doing? I wanna say big ups to each and everyone locked in right now. Those on TuneIn Radio, the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. Big ups to our UK listeners, top of the morning to you on One Harmony Radio. King Genius, Queen Genius, big ups to you. Those locked in on WGLRO, home of the Donny Walker Morning Show, taking you from the sheets to the streets. The People Station, big ups to you guys over there. Those locked in on PEMGTV.com. And of course, right here at the home of the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew on kevinstew.com. Glad to have you. Couldn't do it without you, and you have my word, I wouldn't even try. the sound of Deville. A track called Burning Up. Yeah, if you see me looking kind of crazy right now, those of you watching on kevinstew.com, I've been multitasking because these gremlins, these Monday night gremlins, I don't even know what to tell you about them. But coming up in just a few minutes, we're gonna be talking with, real briefly, we're gonna be talking with Neko Exellent. One time, two time, three time, rewind. One time, two time, pull up selector, rewind again. One time. But before I do that, I want to say thanks to sponsors for this segment of the show, Pulse Media Group. When being in a moment is priceless, you want to give them a call. And whether you're doing something like what I am doing right here on the Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew, or you have an event that you want to stream live, or you just want to capture your moment, Pulse Media has a solution for you. Just give them a call. 754-999-6020. Or you can visit them at pulseemg.com. Got the whole place burning up. Now I have on the line with me a guy who come this weekend will have the whole place burning up in New York. And if you're up there in the New York area, I definitely recommend that you go check him out. He goes by the name Neko Exellent. And Neko, I want to welcome you to the night shift. As you pass through, I know it's not a long stay that you're going to have with us tonight, but welcome to the night shift, brethren.
Bless up, Kevin. Thanks for having me, man. How we doing?
Well, I'm well, I'm well. I have the image from the artwork from the single up on the screen right now so that people can see it and get familiar with it, those who are not yet familiar with it. Neko, coming up this weekend, you are doing a little launch up in New York. Where is it happening? What time is it happening? Why is it happening?
Yeah, as you say, it speaks for itself. It's a launch, so we're putting out, officially releasing brand new single from Neko Exellent.
Yes.
Girls Like You. Yeah, man, and it will be at Sands Bar and Grill in Queens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, and you don't know, it's gonna be an epic one. The whole New York right now is ready for it. It's happening this Thursday. Yes. And I'm telling everybody, get there from early because this place will be packed like around 7. I'm not hitting the stage until about 10. But yes, this place will be packed, guaranteed,
so,
about 7.
So what's gonna be happening between 7 and 10?
Well, like we said, it's a bar and grill,
Yeah.
so people can have them drink, have them food, and the food is top shelf. See me say so, seafood and all that, all the good things. Them, you know what I mean? Top shelf something. And also, there's a house band gonna be performing in that time frame too.
Okay.
Excellent band, which is my personal band,
Yes.
alongside Mr. Ed Robinson.
Oh,
We will
nice.
be in the stage around 10 o'clock.
Right, and it is fresh off the stage here in South Florida,
Oh yes,
with Jerk
definitely.
Fest.
Yeah, man, just see him rip it up. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And so people are excuse me, people will be in for quite a treat for that night.
Oh yes,
So
definitely, definitely.
the launch of the song now, Girls Like You. What is the song about? What for those who are not yet familiar with it? Give us a little bit of the story behind Girls Like You.
Yeah, so girls like you is basically a compliment, you know, to a significant other. So you're telling a girl basically, yo, we spend 24 hours and that not enough. We need more hours,
Mm.
you know. So, it's just the good vibes, the strong energy, that connection where you feel. So you just spread it out back and make say, yo, girl like love fun and yeah, me too.
Right.
You see me say, uh,
Nice. So you'll be performing this song and some others live on Thursday night. Um,
yes, yes, the excellent band has a catalog of songs where, so basically for a lot of people, it's gonna be like it go have a EP effect because
gotcha.
they are gonna hear a bunch of new songs,
Yes.
a bunch of energetic songs, fun songs, you know. But we are really pushing girls like you up front.
Okay. Great. Now I have the track, and I'm gonna play it shortly. I'm gonna make you introduce it shortly.
Cool.
Just go ahead for me, real quick, and tell the folks once again where this is happening and what time it is happening. Because it's Thursday night, and it's definitely get there early because we're starting to party early, and then you can go home early. And
Yes.
and
Actually, this place don't done until about 3, 4 o'clock though. So may I
yeah,
tell you, say it's a night full of excitement. You
but it's
see
a
me I say,
Thursday night.
like,
People have work Friday.
but I'm telling you, this place, that's the effect that it have. It's somewhere that people look forward for on a
Okay,
Thursday. You know, it's nothing but strong, high energy vibes in the week. You get a Saturday night effect out of it on a Thursday.
okay, great,
Yeah,
great.
man. But who will come can come early and have to go to work. Them have to do them thing because we have a bus load of people from Connecticut and thing, and you know they are coming who have to go to work because nobody no want drive, so them a take one big bus and come down there. So the energy is in the here, the vibes is loud,
Yes,
and yeah, man, me just a tell the people them say come out. It a my Sands Bar and Grill, yeah, at 234 32 Merritt Boulevard, Queens, New York. Yeah, man. 234 32 Merritt Boulevard. Sands
excellent,
Bar and Grill. You can Google it, and it take you right there.
nice. Now here's what I want you to do for me, Nico, because this is the moment. I want you to introduce the song because now I'm going to play the song as we roll out, And I want to thank you for popping in tonight. I know you're putting together, doing some final preps for Thursday night. And I appreciate love the fact that you could take some time out to pop in and tell us all about it. And invite folk to come on out and enjoy the vibe.
Yes, man. Yeah,
Introduce the song for me, please. Girls Like You.
Yes, so I say, ladies and gentlemen, you know, say it's Neko Excellent, and I say, girls like you. This one is strictly for the ladies, you know. So, but gentlemen, I say, you know, you have your ladies, you just know, say, yo, Neko Excellent. I represent that one for them, all right? Yeah, man. And it's all about spend 24 hours, I need more hours with you. We spend the weekend getting even. Woo. Yeah, me I say no DJ Kevin, bust it off, you know.
Best believe. Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. Oh. It would help if I take it off on mute. I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, Neko Excellent. The track is called Girls Like You. Blessings, Neko. You take care. We will link up again.
Alright, DJ Kevin, big up yourself, man, and just go and beat. I mean, say, yeah, big up the whole of Florida. Yeah, man, Neko Excellent will be seeing you all soon. Yeah, look out. Yeah, man, and also, before I go,
yes,
if you're listening out in Riedel, I want you to take the time out and just jump on the Instagram something and just type in Neko Excellent. Neko Excellent Neko Excellent, that is, to be exact.
There you go.
Neko Excellent. Yeah, man.
Look him up. Blow up his Instagram, blow up his Facebook, blow him up everywhere you can find him.
Yeah, man. YouTube, you know, the videos, them up there and something, like and subscribe. You don't know. Yeah, man.
Got you, bro.
And yes, in the meantime, man, big up Joanna. I want to big up Mr. Ed Robinson. And I say, big up the whole of Florida.
That's
every
right.
Piece, every time. Yeah, man. And Kevin, big up yourself, brother.
Much respect, Neko. Much respect.
See you.
All right. Blessings, man. Take care.
Take care, brother.
All right.
And play me close, play me soft, play me closer. Cause a girl like you run around with life like me. Cause sundown when I come true, I need a girl like you, yeah. Girls like you love fun and yeah, me too. What I want when I come true, I need a girl like you, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I need a girl like you.
It's Neko Excellent. The track is called Girl Like You. Girls Like You.
Make them stay up, 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 stay up. Do you think I no watch nobody? Slow wine like a medium addy. Rock out on the dance floor now. Now you got two shots at the end. It's a girl like you run around with guys like me. The sundown when I come true, I need a girl like you, yeah. Girls like you love fun and yeah, me too. And I want when I come true, I need a girl like you, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I need a girl like you, yeah, yeah.
He goes by the name Neko Excellent. The track is called Girls Like You. If you're in New York, if you're in Queens, to be exact, do check him out. Sands Bar and Grill. Thursday night. Be there from 8. Working out to the Excellent Band and Ed Robinson. Going from 8 till late. The track is called Girls Like You. Get used to it. Call a friend, tell a friend. It's a night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. Community and Finance Night. Once again, the Gremlins are out. It's Monday night, you know, it's a thing that they do. As we transition into the other segments of the show, he is no stranger to the show anymore, having been on once before. After we take this quick little break, we'll be chatting with Richard Miles. You remember him, Miles of Freedom? Yeah, that guy. Well, CNN has him in, well, not that CNN has him, but CNN has this hero recognition. And right now there are 10 individuals with their companies vying for the top spot of CNN hero. We're gonna chat with Richard Miles in just a few. Once again, I want to say thanks to Pulse Media Group for sponsoring this segment of the show. Pulse Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless, give them a link. Gonna take a quick little break. When we come back, we're going to be talking with Richard Miles, okay? So call a friend, tell a friend. We'll be right back.
Pulse Media Group, innovative streaming and recording, has done it again. A new way to get your business in full view of your neighborhood consumer through AdShare TV. It's available in your neighborhood today. It's easy. Just call us. 754-999-6020. Become a host today and place a TV monitor in a strategic location so it's easy to see. Get a 1-minute video ad or longer that plays anywhere in our network. Can't be a host? No problem. For a few dollars, we'll run your 30-second video ad. A host can run announcement specials like buy one get one free or discount ads. Let's turn your flyers into a 30-second video with music or a voiceover, or let us create and run your video ad with a spokesperson. Take advantage of our early enrollment discount. Join us today. Your ad will be seen at least 30 times per day in your AdShare TV neighborhood. It's easy. Just call us. 754-999-6020. AdShare TV, part of Pulse Media Group.
Are you crazy about the music industry? You aspire to hit it big in music? Or maybe you've sweated out a soulful killer beat and are now stuck finding it's not as easy as it looked. Oh, but it can be easy for you with JTMC. We've been there, we know how it feels, so we solve challenges like production, promotion, marketing, branding and development, and more. With over 30 years of experience, JTMC is a one-stop shop for artists. We handle your graphic design, writing services, PR, as well as event planning, e-blasts, artist management, and bookings, so also your website and social media needs as well. We're experts in using creativity to persuade audiences on behalf of artists, drawing on our diverse experience to create projects that connect with audiences intellectually and emotionally. Artist success is everything to us, and our years of experience and commitment will be behind you for every one of your needs. If you've got music for the world to hear, whether you're a new or established artist, visit us at jtmcenterprise.com.
English. Today in school, I learned a lot. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me. In English, I learned that I'm disgusting. And in physics, I learned that I'm a loser.
Today in school, I learned that I'm ugly and useless. And in gym, I learned that I'm pathetic and a joke. In history, I learned that I'm trash.
Today in school, I learned that I have no friends. In English, I learned that I make people sick. And at lunch, I learned that I sit on my own because I smell. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me.
In biology, I learned that I'm fat and stupid.
In English,
And in math, I learned that I'm trash.
the only thing I didn't learn in school today.
The only thing I didn't learn today.
The only thing I didn't learn
It's why no one ever helps.
Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
It takes an entire village to raise a child. Hello, I'm Paul Campbell, here to talk about Palace. Peace and Love Academic Scholarship. This non-profit group supports students facing serious obstacles from entering or continuing their studies, not because the grades are failing, but due to the lack of financial support.
Over the past 8 years, Palace has awarded 600 scholarships valued at approximately 50.3 million Jamaican dollars, or 415,000 US dollars.
Together, we must build a better future for our children. Please visit www.palace1.org and make your donation to brighten the future of a deserving child. Palace, preserving young minds for posterity.
Matthew 28:19 says, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations." With this in mind, and encouragement received during a South Florida media conference, The Church Links was birthed. The Church Links is an interdenominational worship service portal for churches, providing the tools to spread the word through technology in a cost-effective way. The Church Links, www.dahchurchlinx.com. Your links to worship and praise.
It's Christine representing for DJ Kevin. You see me, I say, I don't know the boss. You see me, I say, DJ Kevin's Stew and the night shift radio show. Yo, the thing, turn up the thing loud. Whoa. DJ Kevin's Stew at the heart of a champion. Never underestimate, just choose him. The silver line behind the dark clouds. DJ Kevin's Stew, believe him, and that's no doubt. Salute the night shift radio show, Christine. Just heart it up loud. Kill the beast.
Halukia no, oh, Halukia. Hey, yes, sir, it's a boy, Jordan Congo Bongo himself. And I represent for Kevin Stew on the night shift. City and Kamola vibes. Yes, sir.
Much respect, Jordan. Much respect. I want to say thanks to our sponsor for this segment of the show, and that would be Althea and her Healing Heavenly Hands. Thank you, Althea, for sponsoring this segment of the show. Althea is a licensed massage therapist who comes to you. So if you're in Broad County, North Miami-Dade, or South Palm Beach County, you can give her a call at 954-655-9000. That's 954-655-9000. She comes to you. She brings her table. All you have to do is make sure you get off it when she is done. Give her a call or email her at thealater@att.net. Listen, coming up now, I have a man who is no stranger to the night shift. And in the background, I have a song playing by Jadon called Truth. And I will definitely play this song when we're done talking later on. Some of you know it. But the words state that the truth doesn't need any defense. But sometimes it does. listen to this. I'm gonna play a little bit of it for you. It's Jadan. The song is called Truth.
People things tell me why you want if it have a ulterior motive and it's no secret. Me come here so fi speak it to everyone. Me come fi reveal it. No more, me now hold no secret. Tell us the truth.
Now, I may need to do some translating so that Richard can understand what Jadan was singing about. But ladies and gentlemen, I present to you, like I said, no stranger anymore to the night shift since he's been on once before, and it only takes one time to become a family member here. Ladies and gentlemen, Richard Miles.
Right, appreciate you, man. Thank you. Might have to do a little translation, but at the end of the day, I know it's true.
Right. If you got anything out of that song, you got the truth.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How are you, Richard? How are things going?
Everything is good, Kevin, man. Since we last talked, a lot has, transpired, went on, is going on. But at the end of the day, we're blessed, and I'm blessed. So thank you for giving me this opportunity to share the airways with you once again.
Oh, definitely. This from now until about an hour from now, it's all you. This is all your show.
Yes, sir. Well, most definitely. Well, thank you.
And I do invite listeners to join us, to call in 773-789-STEW. 773-789-7839 is the number that gets you in touch. You can call, you can text, you can jump into the stew pot on kevinstew.com. Others call it a chat room. We're very fancy over here. We call it the stew pot. So come interact with Richard and myself, and you have some questions, come feel free to ask them. If we don't have an answer, or we cannot give you an answer right now, we can give you one later on. All right?
Sounds good.
And no question is called a stupid question. Just so that you know. This is a judgment-free zone, and every question has its purpose. So bring them all in. Every comment is respected. As long as you make sure you present a respectful comment.
Right. Bring it on.
That's right. There we go. So, Richard, you've been busy the last few months. Since we last spoke, I came across you by seeing a video, seeing you highlighted by CNN. And
yes, sir.
They did a little feature on you and Miles of Freedom. And those of you who are familiar with the night shift, long-time listeners, you would have caught Richard the first time. If not, you can always check him out in the archive. Just as a quick review and a little bit of an overview for those who are new, Richard, how did you end up being featured by CNN, and what was the situation that got you to the place where you are now?
Yes, sir. So, man, once again, thank you for this opportunity, and just to be able to share a portion of our journey. So, as you said, I am now one of the top 10 CNN heroes And this it did not come by any small feat. One of my board members, 4 Miles of Freedom, her name is Trisha Bridges. She actually sent in a letter a couple of months back to CNN. So once a year, CNN opens the opportunity for anybody that feels like someone is worthy of the honor or acknowledgement of a CNN hero. They can send a letter in to CNN, and those letters are read. And if it's chosen, the organization CNN kind of vets the person, and it goes to stages. They're selected. A TV film crew comes out to film you, and you get kind of like nominated.
Right.
And out of those individuals, CNN identifies 10 that will then be flown into New York for the CNN Heroes show. And this year it airs December 8th. And so we will be flying up there with Anderson Cooper and Kelly Ripa, and the number one CNN hero will be acknowledged that night.
Nice.
So, yes.
So that will be when you get your recognition, your official recognition.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
As CNN hero number one.
Right. It's kind of like America's top model or voice or whatever, where they'll call everybody up. And December 3rd, all the votes are in. So right now, anybody that's listening, you can go to CNN Heroes. You can look at all the stories. You can vote 10 times a day. And so all of that counts.
Right.
And so December 3rd, votes in. December 8th, the announcement of the top number one will be announced out of all the 10. So be watching the show, and we'll be live on CNN that night.
Like I said, your spot will be announced that
Yes.
night. I'm claiming
we're
it.
calling it into an existence. I'm claiming it too.
Right.
I'm not turning down nothing but my collar. That's it. So I claim it with you. Yes, sir. Thank you.
That's right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Because it's
and you asked how did we get her? So just
right.
a short recap. At the age of 19, I was wrongfully arrested. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I was wrongfully arrested for a murder and attempted murder that had happened May 15th, 1994. I stayed in the county jail 17 months. I ended up going to jury trial because I was not going to cop out for anything that I didn't do. I received a total of 60 years in the Texas Department of Corrections at the age of 20. I spent the next 15 years in prison as an innocent man. While I was incarcerated, I met a young man by the name of Benjamin Spencer, who was also innocent, and he's on Cofield Unit. And he told me about an innocence organization, and I wrote them in 1996, 97, and they actually took my case 10 years later in 2007. Began the work, proved I was actually innocent. I was released in 2009 and fully exonerated, actual innocence. The first case where there was no DNA and no confession. Our case is actually in the law books. It's ex parte Richard Miles. And so that's how we kind of got to being nominated as a CNN hero.
No, that's the short version, and
yeah, that's the elevator pitch.
I appreciate love the short version, and I encourage everyone to really go and check it out. Check out the show, where I had spoken to Richard before, and he went into details about how he was incarcerated and all that he had to go through to get to where he is now, to get his freedom and to start Miles of Freedom.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
Miles of Freedom in and of itself is what, Richard?
So Miles of Freedom is an organization whose sole intent is to address and assist individuals, families, and communities impacted by incarceration. We as an organization feel and understand that when one person is incarcerated, the family dynamic is fractured, the community is stagnated, and so there must be a holistic approach to addressing the situation of reentry.
Right.
And so we provide services in 3 different areas: the individual returning home from prison, the family, and that community.
Right.
And so it's not just for people that are innocent returning home from prison. It's for anybody that's been impacted by incarceration. And it doesn't matter if you are just now coming home from prison or if you've been out 5 years and just can't get it right. We are that organization that wants to be in that gap.
Right. That's an interesting bit of work that you have to do, Richard.
Yes, sir.
And it's not easy.
Right.
By any stretch of the imagination. Change in and of itself is hard.
Mm-hmm.
And you're talking about helping someone who their initial change was from doing whatever freely to being told when they can do and what they are allowed to do within certain timelines.
Mm-hmm.
To going back to a state of some sort of freedom to do what you like.
Right. And you can't take off the table that not only were they placed up under an authority, they were also isolated from society.
Right.
So you take those 2 components together, and you understand why reentry is such an important piece in reducing recidivism and assisting people coming home from prison and addressing homelessness. I think that the homeless population is directly related to individuals that are not properly reintroduced back into society after incarceration.
Yeah, because of stigmas that tend to be associated with being incarcerated.
Right.
And it's interesting how different, and I'm going to just put it as blatantly or as plainly as I can. Different classes of people that have been incarcerated get treated differently upon their release.
Yes.
And whichever class any of the listeners want to use, whether it is being classified by race or being classified by status in the community or whatever class you want to associate, but different classes get treated differently upon reintegration. And sometimes it's a case of who knows you versus who you know. That helps in the process of reintegration. You, through Miles of Freedom, are somewhat providing a who you know. Sorry, not a who you know, but a who knows you situation to those transitioning from incarceration to regular society. And
right.
I want to thank you once again for doing that. Because
yes, sir.
you could have decided when your case was, when you got your freedom and compensated for being wrongfully accused and incarcerated, not just wrongfully accused, but wrongfully incarcerated, you could have taken that and decided, you know what, I am going to be lounging for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
But you decided to take that and create miles of freedom. And once again, I tip my hat to you for that. And I'm glad that you have organizations like CNN that
yes, sir.
had taken the time out to read that letter that was sent in.
Yeah, right.
And to recognize that, yes, here is an entity worth recognizing.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's like, that. That's words. It's just crazy. It's a blessing. It's tonight I got a chance to speak to some college students at UNT Dallas, and they're in law in the legal field, and I was telling them, I started Miles of Freedom not because I was wrongfully incarcerated, but because I was incarcerated, but empowered after I was incarcerated. My dad passed 6 months before I got out. And so I cried on the shoulders of the quote-unquote drug dealers and the murderers. Those are the shoulders that I cried on. And so in essence, for me to leave, that was family for me for 15 years. My mom and dad came to visit me. So the prison changes your whole dynamic of family the longer you stay locked up. And so my family became the visitors, and the prison became my family. And so when I got out and I was empowered, and why not help my family, regardless if they're on the unit I was on, or regardless, or if they're black, white, Hispanic, they was impacted like I was impacted.
Right. When you first got word that you are being recognized as a part of this group, and you'd possibly get to the stage where you are at now, where people all over the country would be voting for you to be the next CNN hero, what was that feeling? What were you doing at the time when you got that word? And what was the reaction?
So when my board member when Trisha told me that she sent in the letter, it was like this last minute thing. I'm at the house and she calls me and she says, "Hey Richard, I just want you to know that I sent in a letter to CNN, and they may not get it, but I just wanted to just put it in for you." And so I'm like, oh, okay, I'm really not thinking about the magnitude of it. And honestly, I kid you not, even right now, I don't think the magnitude of it is kind of connecting to me or with me. But I was like, okay, well, cool. And so time went by, and I eventually get a call. It was a New York, I believe, Los Angeles number, and I answered it, and it was the point of contact. And it was surreal because number one, you have a lot of people that's been wrongfully incarcerated and that are out here and that's fighting the fight.
Yes.
You have a lot of people that's been out here, that's been in the trenches fighting the fight. the guy that told me to write Centurion Ministries was an innocent person, but God chose me, and this man is still in prison. So, to your point, I mean, I'm speechless because there's so many other people that I can just, think of that's been in this space, but I was chosen. Many are called, but few are chosen.
Right.
I'm a very spiritual person, and so when the call came in, I was just totally honored. And I don't think the magnitude of it will really hit me until after everything is over with. I always pray for humility because I know that in life it's easy for us to want to eat the fruit that we bear.
Yes.
And it's not for us. The recognition that we get in life is not for us. It should be encouragement for others, but it should never really be for us. And so I kind of lay in that space, and even with this CNN acknowledgement, it's for people that's in prison, man, that need hope. So I'm just a recipient of something that somebody else needs, if that makes any sense.
It does. It does. In the event that, okay, the CNN hero, the competition, if you so call it, at the end of it all, let's say you were to get the top spot. What does that mean for Richard Miles and for Miles of Freedom?
I think it doesn't change the trajectory of the organization. It adds credibility and validity to the need of what we're doing. It puts us obviously probably at the forefront of anything relative to criminal justice, because Miles of Freedom encompasses not only reentry, it encompasses exoneration, it encompasses the struggles of prison. So It's like, no, our story has not been a part of the narrative. Our struggles has not been a part of the narrative. And I think that this acknowledgement at least offers us an opportunity to sit at the table. What table is that? It might just be the social media table, or the fact that now there's another part or conversation of criminal justice. And so I think that that's what it really does for Miles of Freedom. For me, in general, I oftentimes say at 19, all I had was 60 years in a bunk. So walking out of prison was the biggest thing that could have ever happened to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
So anything outside of that, it's just frosting on the cake. But the cake was baked when I walked back out of prison.
Right now, in the buzzing in the news, buzzing all over social media, the water cooler conversation, just about everywhere, is the Rodney Reed case.
Right.
When you hear about the Rodney Reed case, do you see any similarities to what your case was?
I I see some similarities in it. I think it's a couple of it's some stark differences. Obviously, in the cases, it's some differences in myself and Mr. Reed, which I think is giving way to a lot of pushback regarding his case. But understanding that in my case, there was a witness who was coerced by the prosecutor, who testified and said that I had killed some people that night. And years later, not only he came back and said the prosecutor coerced him, the scientific evidence, the gunshot residue evidence that was testified as being true was false.
Right.
And so you do have the situation in Mr. Reed's case where you have newly discovered evidence, which is considered legally Brady. It's Brady violation. It's newly discovered evidence that has the potential and should stop or at least raise into question a person's confinement.
Right.
At the end of the day, that's what Brady violation is. Brady versus Maryland is the failure for prosecutors to disclose, the failure to disclose exculpatory evidence to the defendant. It doesn't matter if the police has it, the prosecutor, it doesn't matter. The minute new evidence comes to play, the courts should consider the point of confinement, especially when you're potentially going to execute somebody.
Right.
Now that's on a whole nother spectrum. You know, if reasonable doubt is enough for us to find a person not guilty, reasonable doubt should be way more than enough for us to stop an execution. And that's what Rodney Reed's case has brought to the forefront, reasonable doubt.
Right.
Now, we can argue all day long if Rodney Reed is innocent or guilty. The least the execution should be stopped because reasonable doubt has came into play, which is backed up by evidence of actual innocence, which is Brady violation.
Now, you would think that, let's go back to your case, what we know.
Right.
Because at this point now, anything that we're saying about, especially us lay people saying about Rodney Reed's case, is just speculation and some of us on our part hope. In your case, which has happened, we know these are facts. From the point when someone came forward and said, yeah, I said I saw him do it, but I really didn't. From that point to the point where you walk out those gates, remind us how long that took and what had to happen for that to happen.
So from the point that it was from the point of the recantation, or the point that he actually, from the point that he recanted?
Yes.
So I was already released once he recanted. So my initial release was when Centurion Ministries purchased my police records and transcripts. They found documents in the police records where a young lady called in and told them they had the wrong person, and gave them the name of the person that did it, who he was with, the type of gun he used, and everything. This was in the police records way before I went to jury trial. And so when Centurion Ministries purchased my records, they found this document in the police records. This is outside of recantation.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Also in the police records, there was evidence that the individuals that were hurt, one was fatally wounded and the other one was shot. They had just beat up a guy and pulled a shotgun on him 2 days before this incident happened. This was not brought up in jury trial. It was like 3 pieces of Brady violation that was in the police records that somebody had access to before I went to jury trial, and this was never turned over in evidence.
Mm-hmm.
So this was that finding of Brady in the police records is what walked me out of prison in 2009. Now, I wasn't exonerated until 2012. In 2010, the gentleman that testified against me, the district attorney's office visits him. That's when he tells them that the prosecutor that worked for them told him to wrongfully identify me. Mm-hmm. And so you're talking about 2 years after somebody, no, probably about a year later, after that initial recantation, and the gunshot residue test was all back to back. So a year after the district attorney's office did their extra investigation, I was fully exonerated. And that was 17 and a half years altogether. 15 years incarcerated, 2.5 years out.
And if I remember correctly, even the process to get you out after Centurion Ministries had purchased your record, that whole process from the moment that they first submitted that, hey, there's evidence here that states contradictory to what was that was left out.
Right. I mean,
that took some time before you walked out that gate.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at it like, I wrote my first letter in 1997. Kevin, this was a correspondence for 10 years. It wasn't just one letter that I wrote to Centurion in 97. It was multiple letters over a 10-year span. And then they purchased my transcripts in 2007. And they came to visit me in 2008. So if you want to look at the process, you got to go back. And this is what people got to understand. If somebody is wrongfully incarcerated, it takes a process.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have an entity out here that's reading somebody's letters every day because they want to make sure that you are actually innocent.
Right.
That they are not getting out a guilty person that's just trying to, finagle the system or whatever. I mean, there is checks and balances, so I understand the process. I understand that there has to be a process. I'm just glad that there is a process.
Yeah. Yeah. I know what you mean.
Right. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Because, you even think of those out there who are not being given due process.
Right. Yes.
As in, here we are in what is currently the most famous or the most popular case in the U.S. outside of the impeachment.
Right.
But this case right here, and and things are coming out little by little. They're asking questions. They're talking about doctored pictures And this is way before Photoshop.
Right.
You know, so we're not talking about digital imagery being altered. We're talking about physical images being altered and being presented as evidence, and then the implications of it. Go ahead.
mean, that's just like, the gunshot residue in my case.
In your case.
In my case. And what society has to understand is when that prosecutor says that this is true, or when somebody gets up there and they say, I have a PhD, and they say that's true, I mean, our jurors are going to believe that.
Yes.
And so whether it's by default that you say that, or by, you're actually trying to wrongfully, incarcerate somebody, our jurors have to start really asking those hard questions too. Because it's so easy for a wrongful conviction to take place. It's so easy for a person to be, executed.
Yes.
And innocent.
Yeah.
We have a system, but our system is in the hands of imperfect people. And so perfection can't come from imperfection. And we got to challenge ourselves when we're looking at the criminal justice system. It's not the system a lot of times, it's the imperfection. And we're all imperfect. We're all imperfect.
Yes.
So we should be humble enough to challenge our imperfections.
Right. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. And talking to you who as someone who has gone through it, I know you feel for Rodney in a way quite differently to how I feel for him. Because I can only say, boy, I can imagine how it feels to get that finger to say, this is the guy that did it.
Yeah.
And to be the only one, or seemingly the only one to be saying, but no, I didn't. I'm innocent. I don't even know where this place is, let alone to have been there when this happened. And then to be sitting in this cell as a criminal, and you had nothing to do with it. So I know you can your feelings towards Rodney is a little bit deeper than mine, and I feel deeply for him.
And in that same vein, we share that empathy because we were in the same place. But I guarantee you, the pain that he feels, I didn't have to bear that because I was never facing death.
Right.
So that's a totally different. I can't even say I know how he feels. Because obviously I had to do 20 years in prison, but it would always be, let me get to my parole date and let me, even being innocent, you still have the opportunity or the chance, the possibility to walk out of prison as a man that was innocent but in prison.
Right.
When you're looking at death, that's a totally different mental anguish.
Right.
Is imposed upon an individual, and it takes you to a different depth than just being incarcerated. So I don't even know how he feels. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a good friend, Anthony Graves. Now, Anthony Graves, innocent, was on death row. I think he did like 18 years. And he tells the story of how, can you imagine just being in your cell 23 hours a day and you see people walk by, but they never walk back?
Mm.
And knowing that your cell will one day roll, and that's potentially you.
Yeah.
You know, so I can't imagine that because I wasn't in that space. So, you know, my hat, when I look at his pictures and I see that fish raised up high, my hat tips to him because that's a totally different strength of character and mind and will to endure that. Totally different.
Let me ask you, just before we change gears and go back to talking about CNN Hero once again, remind me and us, was your attorney state appointed or did you find yours?
Oh yeah, he was state appointed, court appointed. Yes.
No, I have to ask the difficult question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like, and you can choose not to answer this question.
Oh no! You know, look here, man. My case is public records, and I'm an open book. So
Yeah. Okay.
Just give me the question. Yeah.
Do you feel like he did his job in representing you?
So that I'm gonna answer that question two ways, and once again, this evening at the school I spoke at, my attorney, Sarah Watley, she's a professor, and so we talked about that tonight. And so, on one end, I understand that a court-appointed attorney is not financially equipped, or they do not have the adequate resources that's needed to defend a client on a murder and attempted murder. The state doesn't even, the system doesn't give them the resources, even if they were good court-appointed attorneys and wanted to fight. Where are they going to get the resources? And so it's you're walking into the battle, David and Goliath, because you don't have enough resources. Okay? And so the same thing with my court-appointed attorney. Very early on, he asked us for money so he could do more. We didn't have the money. Now, whether he was going to take that money and do more seriously, or whether it was just a question he was trying to get us. So I'll say on one end, I understand he was not equipped.
Right.
On the other end, I think that he underestimated the state because it was a lot of evidence in our favor. You know, on the outside looking in, somebody will say, man, you're going to win this trial. And so I think he underestimated the state. And the last thing I'll say is he wasn't equipped enough to adequately defend a minority. And I'm going to tell you why, particularly in my case. In my case, the description of the shooter was 6'2", 6'4", real dark complected, had a white shirt and shorts. I'm 5'7", light skin, but brown skin, had on a white shirt and pants. Physically, I looked nothing like what all of the witnesses said the shooter looked like.
Right.
When the jury trial came, the prosecutor addressed the fact that all of the witnesses were saying 6'2", 6'4", real dark complected, and the person that they had was 5'7", light skinned. His argument to that was, I had been in the county jail 17 months with no sunlight, and my skin. I can't. Man, you can
I'm
read
sorry.
my transcripts.
I'm sorry.
No, seriously. I'm seriously. That was his argument. And you know what? My lawyer had no logical rebuttal.
Wow.
No logical rebuttal. So when you ask me, was he effective? In so many ways, I think he was well intentioned.
Yes.
But I think he was poorly ineffective in so many ways.
Mm.
And for so many reasons.
Right. And
because, any lawyer, any logical, it doesn't have to even be a minority. You say something like that, you're going to challenge. Oh, hold on, come on now. So you telling me the sun is the reason why this man ain't really, really dark no more?
Right.
But guess what? The jurors heard it and they ate it up. They didn't question it because the prosecutor said it and my lawyer didn't refute it.
Right. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yep.
With changing gears just a little bit. going back to CNN Hero.
Yeah.
How is your family feeling about it? Because you had to go through this, and this is one of the things about a message. I heard this once early in life, and it stuck with me. A message is nothing short of a mess with age.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And in order for you to be where you are now, you had to be caught up in some mess.
Mm-hmm.
Which is that 20 years. Now, that 20 years was not easy 20 years, as you have explained to us before.
Mm-hmm.
But 20 years of mess. And it has been aging like fine wine.
Right.
And it's not yet perfect, but it's getting there. So you have a message. And you have been sharing this message. Now you went from a place where student lawyers were probably looking at ways to put you away. Now, sitting, listening to you impart on ways to do their jobs effectively.
Yes, sir.
Which is quite a turnaround, but it couldn't happen unless you had that mess with the age.
Right.
So now you have this message, and CNN is recognizing that message. So win, lose, or draw, it works out well in getting that message out there.
Yes.
How is the family feeling about it?
It's interesting. Everybody, since the CNN thing has kind of like came out, there's a lot of excitement going on. I think that, for a long time, the mess was a stain on our family.
Right.
My dad was a minister. He was a pastor of a church. And just imagine, when the pastor's son goes to jail for murder, what the community looks at that church like, that pastor like.
Right.
You know, so this has not only been a ride for me, it's been a ride for my family. And so when that weight was lifted off, you know, so went some of those perceptions, you know, so went some of those people that was looking down on us. We are enjoying this moment. As my mom, she's enjoying this moment, and sisters and brothers as well. We spoke of this earlier. My wife, she is enjoying the moment, but she is also a bit upset, and I will tell you why. Because also in December, around December 10th, our second daughter is expected. So I'm having we're having another child.
Right.
So she won't be able to attend, and my visit to CNN or acceptance of the CNN nomination was contingent upon me being in New York. December 6th through the 9th. Yeah.
Right.
And so it's like a big sacrifice. Really, for me and her right now, this is our second daughter. I may not be here to be a part of the pregnant through the actual birth, but she basically just told me to go and bring the check back. So,
I love her.
yeah, you know. So I think she'll be okay. So. Hopefully, you get a chance to give your 30-second acceptance speech, because each one of us will get like this award.
Yes.
And then you can give like 30 seconds. So I'm going to try to slide a shout out. Hopefully she's not actually in labor while I'm getting the award. That'd be like a Guinness Book of World Records. I think we'll get something else with that. But yeah. It's a lot of excitement, and I'm glad that the experience has brought a smile to people's faces.
Yes, it's just proof that that thing that we look at as so horrible now, later on, it could be one of the most beautiful things that ever happened. It's just that we had to, gold. The gold that we see as jewelry, that's not how it is in its raw state.
Right.
And it has to go through processes to end up looking the way it is in that finished product, that shiny, lovely looking. Even diamonds, it's a process that they go through to have that nice, polished, finished to them.
Yes.
And you've gone through your process, and rightly so, you are getting recognized and for what you have done since and have been doing. Also, you are being recognized, and I don't think it could have happened to a better person. I'm kind of biased because I don't know the other 9.
Yes,
I haven't spoken to them or with them, so yes, I'm a bit biased, but with good reason. Because you went through a lot to I don't think there's anybody else in the 9 that has gone through anything like what you have gone through. In the 10.
True.
Well, of the other 9, I should say. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So
and I've been kind of following it too, and what I do want to say that the support that we've been getting since our video came out. So before we were selected, we got like 1.6 million views on the video. So many different over, I forgot how many thousand likes, and shares. And the video, once they re-put it back out again, with over 200,000 views. So the word is getting out there. People are responding to the story, the message, and so that's a blessing, So even if we don't, nothing, I won't speak that into existence, but the word is getting out there. So Thank you for keeping it out there, for the shares that you do and the likes that you do. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I know I've shared it a few times myself.
yes. We appreciate yes.
So how can people contribute to your success, your official success, as it relates to this? What do they need to do?
Right. So, and I got to toot your horn to DJ Kevin, because I expressed this to you earlier, man. You are the first person, media-wise, that has asked me to come on and do an interview, particularly pertaining to CNN. No station in Dallas. Not saying anything about it. Nobody has. So I always know. If you ever need me to do any type of interview or whatever, and I'm open just to give me a call, man. And I thank you for helping us get this message out.
It's my pleasure, Richard. It's my pleasure and honor.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. And to answer your question, so what people can do right now, even as we talk, they can go online and go to CNNheroes.com and, entertain, read each one of the stories, because, you can have 10 votes a day. You can vote 10 times a day. You can have all 10 votes at one time going to one person. You can do 2 for whatever your choice is.
Yeah, you can use them any way you choose.
Yes, all the way up to December 3rd. December 3rd is the last day to vote. Right. Now, what happens after December 3rd? I need everybody and their uncles and aunts and cousins and dogs to be sitting in front of the TV December 8th.
Mm-hmm.
That is the live CNN Hero show. So the show will actually shoot live from New York, so we'll be up there. And that night, you can also donate. So that's the other thing. You can donate right now, but that night, all donations made that night, Subaru will match up to $50,000. And that goes to the nonprofit organization. So potentially, even if we, not saying anything bad, so potentially that night, we can also walk away with not only a financial donation to the person, me personally, but also a large contribution for the nonprofit in which we represent.
Mm-hmm. That is awesome.
That's what happens that night. So people watch, people donate, because the winner will already be known by December 8th.
Right.
So I don't think it's going to be any voting where you can't vote. It's not going to be any voting that night. It'll be the acknowledgement, the donations and videos and so forth like that.
Nice. So we have up until December 3rd to shore up your top spot.
Yes.
All right, so everybody listening in, those listening live, wherever you are in the world, I do not care. Richard Miles is the name. CNN Heroes is where you're going to go look for his name. You click on his picture and you vote. Not to say that you can't or you shouldn't read the stories of any of the others. Go ahead and read them. Look at, but my recommendation, and again, yes, I am biased. Fine. I wear that hat proudly.
Yes.
Richard Miles. That's where all my votes go. And those of you connected with me or connected to me on social media, you've seen where I've shared this. That's not only the times that I've shared it, has been the times that I've voted. Just so that you know.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
I encourage you guys to go on regularly, every day if you can, and vote. Vote. Now, you might want to vote for somebody else every now and then. Fine. But make sure you vote for Richard.
Yes.
Any which way you want to split it, make sure Richard gets votes. Because what he is doing is needed in the community. What he is doing, and again, he's not doing it for fame or fortune. That's one of the best parts. One of the best things about you, Richard, is that you're not looking for the notoriety.
Right.
You're doing it because you know what it is like. And you know what is needed, the help that you needed when you came out. The help that you needed when you were in.
Yes.
You know it firsthand. And from that, you can create an organization to help in those areas.
Yes, sir.
Listen, people, if you don't know anything about Miles of Freedom, look them up.
Most definitely.
Look them up. You can listen to the previous show that I had with Richard where he explained how Miles of Freedom works, what they do in there, or you can just look them up, or you can call them up.
Yes.
What's the number over there, Richard?
Our phone number is 214-238-2299. Once again, that's 214-238-2299. We can also be reached at www.milesoffreedom.org. That's our website. You can sign up for a newsletter. We have quarterly newsletters that go out, as well as a calendar that's always updated, so you'll see what's going on at the office or around about the office.
And, you know, I like your little slogan, bridging the gap from prison to promise. I love it. You know,
yes, sir. That's our motto.
Yeah. You are much needed, and Texas is better off for having you. Not that it's only Texas that you can be, but are only people in Texas that you help.
Right.
But Texas is better off for having you. And
yes, sir.
I wish you continued success, and you will have my support as you go along, in whichever way, shape, or form that I can provide it.
Yes, sir. Well, we greatly appreciate you reaching out and staying connected, and like I said, just granting us this airwave time. I don't close anything down. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
It's my pleasure once again. Richard, I'm going to let you go get your rest. I know you're a busy man and you have a lot to do. And once again, thanks to the wife for loaning you out to us.
Yes. Yes. You know it. I'm on the phone with Kevin. Yeah, we good.
Right.
Yes, sir.
And you know, I'm working towards a visit. I am. I'd love to come down there and visit you with you guys.
Yeah.
I'm working towards it.
That sounds good. We'll so entertain you down here in Dallas, man. We will most definitely do that.
Yeah, I
have you come by the office and check us out.
Oh, definitely. I'd love to. I would love to.
Yes,
And
sir.
so, but it takes a little time. It takes a little time. It takes a little bit of resources also. And like I said, I'm working
Yes.
towards it, and I'll get there. I truly believe in the laws of attraction and speaking things into being. You know, that's where prayer and believing and having faith comes into play.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
they're all linked. So whichever way anybody wants to classify it, whatever fancy term they want to give to it, it's all basically the same
Right.
thing.
Right.
So I have now publicly said it,
Yes.
and I'm speaking it into being. World, look out for those pictures. I will gladly share a couple of those pictures. I don't share everything on social media. I don't live on social media. I live in real life.
Yeah. Right.
So my pictures are for my memories, and if I choose to share them with other people, then I'll share one and two. But you don't get them all. Sorry to disappoint you folks.
Right.
But I am looking forward to that moment where I walk through the doors of the Miles of Freedom office and see the operation firsthand. I look forward to the day. Thank you for what you do, Richard.
Thank you, sir. And we most definitely look for the day that we can receive you at Miles of Freedom.
I accept that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You have a wonderful rest of the evening. Do give your wife a big hug for me and rub the belly and say that rub is from Kevin.
I will do that. I will. I rub the feet and tell those feet rubs are from Kevin.
Listen.
I got to do all that, the feet and the belly.
If I can get it to happen. And I can convince her to do it. Before December. No, it can't happen. I just remember what month we're in and what date it is. So I'm sorry. That massage will have to come some other time.
No worries. Keep it as a rain check.
Right. I'll work on that one too. See if I can get Althea's healing heavenly hands over to Texas.
Yeah, that's an awesome. They gotta be cool if they sponsor you. Yeah.
I will. In fact, I'm speaking that into being also.
Already.
Yes.
The Lord will provide.
That's right. Hey, Richard, take care until next time, because you will be back. You're family. So I tell you, after the first time, I'm sorry. You're sucked in.
No worries. I've been a part of worse. You be blessed, right?
All right, well, you take care, and we'll talk.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
All right, good night.
Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, Richard Miles, founder of Miles of Freedom. Go ahead and do look them up. Do look him up. Look up the story. And you may see some striking similarities between his and what you've come to see already with the Rodney Reed case. But there's more. There's more coming as it relates to this Rodney Reed case. I know there's more. Stay tuned for it. Right now, we're gonna move into our musical therapy segment. And I want to thank JTMC for sponsoring the previous segment. I've really gotten into the GMAT Music Solution segment. But thanks to JTMC for sponsoring the previous segment of the show. Thank you very much, Joanna Marie and crew. JTMC will take care of your needs as it relates to entertainment, your tour management, your bookings, social media management, promotions. JTMC is who you need to give a call. And you can also visit them on the website at jtmcenterprise.com. Do give Joanna and the crew a call, 954-998-8034. That's 994-998-8034. Or visit the website, jtmcenterprise.com. I told you before we got started with talking to Richard that I'm going to be playing this song, and I'm going to start off the musical therapy segment, this abbreviated musical therapy segment, with the song, the same song, courtesy of the one and only Jadon. It's called Truth. Oh, I need to press this button.
People things tell me why you want if it have a ulterior motive and it's no secret. Me come here sophisticated to everyone, me come fi reveal it. No more, me now hold no secret. Tell us the truth, don't need no defense, no way. Why you want defend yourself when you know say a lie you a tell? The truth, no call for no argument. When you know how you do me wrong, you know it hurt me, 'cause you could have killed me. Have you as a brother, so close to me, you should have never be. Tell me why you want to change me energy, why you want to see the enemy. As long as you have life, you are gonna live to see the best of me. Tell us the truth. Veins, no way. Why you want to defend yourself when you know say a lie you want to tell? The truth, no call for no argument, no way. So why you want to hype up yourself when you know say a lie you want to tell? You know say a lie you want to tell. A song for you want to sell. The fire it a burn red, red. You know say a lie you want tell. A song for you want say. Hey, hey, whoa, hey, hey. The truth don't need no defense, no way. Why you want defend yourself when you know say a lie you want tell? The truth, no call for no argument.
The track is called Truth. You know, sometimes you'd think that you don't need to defend the truth, but sometimes you just have to put in a little bit more effort because the truth is suppressed. And just like the amount of energy that it takes for a plant to burst out of their seed, it takes up quite a bit of energy. Or a chick to break out of their egg. Or even for that child to enter the world. It's a little bit difficult sometimes, but it's well worth it.
No pain, no fire up in the sky.
This is Crescenti.
Will change my vision.
The track is called Word and Honor.
I won't go stumbling like the others who has gone before me. Never will I leave my pride. That's my shining armor. Yeah, yeah. Won't go changing like the weather just to please the devil. Never will I sell my soul. That's my word in honor. Yeah, yeah. Cause for what it's worth, I'm holding. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Much better than them, no. No giving to them. No, no, no. Hate you all the pain. Keep fighting. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The only way to win. No giving to them. No, no, no. Them say chances are you never hold out. Cause they know in all your life them set bad road. But no matter what you try, this without no. Whether you're in the deepest night or the light out. Yeah, and the enemy get one coat. Yeah, and them bad like get hold out. Yeah, the most time in your shout out. Good over evil with that doubt. I won't go stumbling like the others who has gone before me. Never will I leave my pride. That's my shining armor. Yeah, yeah. Won't go changing like the weather just to please the devil. Never will I sell my soul. That's my word in honor. Yeah, yeah. Cause for what it's worth, I'm holding. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Much better than them, no. No giving to them. No, no, no. Yeah, through all the pain, keep fighting. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The only way to win, no giving to them. No, no, no. As if the wind beneath my wing should turn this all around. Then let the test of time define who I am. No pain, no fire up in the sky. No, will change my vision from my eyes. And I'll be the same man. Yeah, now and for always. Yeah, yeah. I won't go stumbling like the others who has gone before me. Never will I leave my pride. That's my shining armor. Yeah, yeah. Won't go stumbling like the others just to please the devil. Never will I sell my soul. That's my word in honor. Yeah, yeah. There's a chances are you never hold out. Cause I know you know your life them set bad road. But no matter what you try, this without doubt. But I get in the deepest night or the light out. Every part of me who have eyes to see will see. I won't go stumbling like the others who has gone before me. Never will I leave my pride. That's my shining armor. Yeah. Won't go changing like the weather just to please the devil. Never will I sell my soul. That's my word in honor. Yeah, yeah. I won't go stumbling like the others who has gone before me. Never will I leave my pride.
Remember, go to CNN.com. Look for the heroes section. Vote for Richard Miles.
Ain't nothing gonna stop my stride or broke my vibe. All of that can go to them.
This is the sound of Korik.
I'm living my best life.
It's called Good Day.
Every day above ground. Cause every day above ground is a good day. Instead of fight and quarrel and is a good day, and every day above ground is a good day.
If you don't know where to find the CNN Heroes, just put it in your search. CNN Heroes.
It's a good day. Blessings step on me everywhere I go. Just shining sunlight through my window. Him say give thanks for life today, because no one knows tomorrow. So I give thanks, no time for stressing. Every breath I breathe is a blessing. Respect to you, Jah. I'm confessing you're on it. I'm not guessing.
Okay, so let me be fair and put it out there.
Don't quarrel and complain. Give thanks and praise is what you should say.
Contestants.
Is a good day, and every day
Yeah, Stacey Alonso out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Mary Robinson out of Mountainside, New Jersey.
every day above ground is a good day.
Afroz Shah out of Mumbai, India.
Much to be grateful for. You might never
Naja Bazi out of Detroit, Michigan.
give thanks and learn this lesson.
Woody Faircloth
Is a blessing.
out of Denver, Colorado.
I'm confessing you're on things. I'm not
Roger Montoya
every day above ground is a
out
good
of Española, New Mexico.
complain. Give thanks and
Mark Myers out of San Angelo in Texas.
above ground is a good day. Instead of fight and quarrel and complain. Give thanks
Zach Wiggle,
to say
Ann Arbor, Michigan.
ground is a good day.
Friend Weenie Merbratu out of Mekele in Ethiopia.
Made up my mind that I'm
And the man we just spoke to tonight, Richard Miles out of Dallas, Texas. Those are the 10 individuals recognized as CNN heroes. And I told you, I'm biased with my vote. Richard all the way. Not being hypocritical about it either.
Then we don't need them alone. Shall we have the plane crash anytime it touch down? But that's how we the crown run them out of town. Then we burn them down. Burn them. Minding a them, bad minding a them. Shall we have a put
This is Jaway Life.
minding a them, bad
The track is called I almost said Bad Mind. The track is called Hypocrites.
They have a put judge a line in a them. Bad minding a them, bad minding a them. The extra show hand kind in a them. Some of them are hypocrite and long carry penny. But them out of me like me don't need them friendship. And them do a watch on it and a wait to see me slip. Them a go get trick when them hear the one a hit. Some a wonder how we doing reggae music. Cham just say it again and we choose it. But mind people only think on negative things. They like to see you step up doing positive things. Them pat me and your
As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put it into on social media again right now.
lyrics you stop coming. I'm let's see what I mean.
Where y'all can go vote. I'm sharing it right now.
Minding a them, bad minding a them. They are toxic, show and minding a them. Bad minding a them, bad minding a them. Away I go put judge a line in a them. Bad minding a them, bad minding a them. The extra show and minding a them. Them bad mind, them not read up God line. Them life never sunny, want kill me through money. Rasta soul is free. We not fi worry, we not fi worry. Them can't do me nothing, can't stop me from strive. I'm not talking about my body, is it's always inside. Life after death, I will collect the prize. Them hear this a one and they start to realize that it's a profit. No way the wicked gonna stop it. Talent for me, I remember say Aja a blessing. So when we send this message, just please accept it. Just please accept it. My life no stress. Minding a them, bad minding a them. Away I go put judge a line in a them. Bad minding a them, bad minding a them.
Jaway Life. The artist out of South Florida.
Away I go put judge a line in a them. Bad minding a them, bad minding a them. The extra show hand.
I have one song that I'm gonna roll out of here with tonight. I got this song about a month ago. I just like it. I haven't been playing it that often, and I'm gonna play it tonight. A nice little vibe. The track is called If I Loved You by Royce. Yeah, it's not Jamaican music. This is our musical therapy. I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight. Thank you for going on to CNN Heroes and voting for Richard Miles. Yeah, I said it.
Jamaica. Stay clean, stay positive. Look out.
Rolling out to the Royce tonight. If I Loved You.
Send roses by bottles of champagne. Your favorite, I'm great at keeping a promise. Wrote letters, 10 pages to tell ya I'm in it, I wanna stay. And I'll show you in every way. You're skeptical still, well, I'm loving on you. And I'm super confused how my actions don't convince you. You're skeptical still, so I'll remind you. Takeout, stop binging on old films. Get dressed up, we go out. It's hard to make a choice. We're both indecisive. All I know, I'm in it, I wanna stay. And I'll show you in every way. You're skeptical still, well, I'm loving on you. And I'm super confused how my actions don't convince you. You're skeptical still, so I'll be not.
Good night, good morning, good afternoon, good day to you wherever you are in the world. Join me tomorrow with Healthy Love. My name is DJ Kevin Stew. This has been the Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew. Catch y'all later. Close on One Harmony Radio. WGLRO, PEMGTV.com. Thank you all. Remember to vote. Oh, pardon me. Big ups to GMAT Music Solutions. Thank you for sponsoring the musical therapy segment. GMAT Music Solutions, providing you with light and stage production services, musical equipment, PA systems, audio engineers, DJs, bands, musicians, singers. Give them a call, 754-307-GMAC. That's 754-307-4622. I couldn't have musical therapy without them. Thank you, GMAT Music Solutions. The moment is priceless. Consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulsemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless.